Hello. Welcome to the weird flex.
But okay podcast. Hey guys, Jordan just woke up from an amazing nap that we totally recorded on the first try. Yeah, we didn't do a retake at all. Totally.
Be sure to listen to the end for a stinger.
Oh yeah, definitely do that. But yeah, guys, welcome to the Weird Flex But Okay podcast, the comedy, weaves, workouts, and advice podcast where we answer your questions. First takes. Dang it. Totally.
Yes.
Yeah, if you'd like to submit a question, you can email us at weirdflexbutokaypodcast@gmail.com. The music you hear in this episode was made by What's My Name on Instagram and SoundCloud. And we just reached 1,000 subscribers. Actually,
1K people.
On
yeah,
YouTube.
If all of you were in the room watching us, that would be some insane shit.
Which you can actually do at MomoCon because we also got approved.
A panel. Yeah, we got a panel Sunday,
Woo!
May 20. What's
Six?
the May 20? What is it going to be?
I think it's May 26th. It's the Sunday of MomoCon at 11 a.m.-ish. But
11:30 a.m.
11:30 a.m. But they might change times because sometimes cons do that.
They better not change to Thursday because we got sharks to fight. So
yes,
yeah.
This is true. We might be doing some awesome stuff.
We are. It's not might. We are.
This is true.
Yes.
Unless the sharks get eaten.
No. What if they tail whip us?
Oh my goodness.
That'd be so cool. You'll learn about this in
Yes.
3 months when I film the vlogs I always do.
Yes,
because they're
it'll
super
be
fun.
awesome. But
And,
yeah. That's what we're doing, fam.
yeah, we're gonna
so guys,
go. Thank you all so much for 1K. We're gonna get our bronze plaque now. It's coming in the mail.
Awesome. So hopefully we can keep building that and have fun with you guys. And if you ever leave comments, we generally try to answer them. And of course, we love seeing the emails and stuff. And I'm really excited to do the panel because we're gonna make it a lot of fun.
It's literally like right after my Toon Clash panel with the
wow.
guys. So it's like literally I go from Toon Clash to Weird Flex podcast because that one starts
That's
like at
amazing.
10. So but they might flip that around, like you said. They might flip it around. So I don't know. Hopefully it's not on Thursday. That's all all I'm hoping for.
They wouldn't do that. I don't think MomoCon does official content on Thursday. I think that's just kind of like a prep day.
That's a prep day for chicken and pretzels.
Exactly.
Yes.
That actually sounds amazing right now. But
yeah,
how was your week, Jordan?
It was good, I guess. It was all right. I just been working. I got all my stuff done for taxes. I've been doing this stuff. I woke up early at 4 because I was getting my rock on in the gym, and then I got my work done. All my work was done before noon, so I felt like I crushed the day. And then I was like, yeah, I felt awesome. And then what else did I do? What did I do? I went what did I do? I don't know. I did a bunch of stuff last week, but that's it. Yeah. How about you? How was your convention?
It was pretty good. I've been to 2 cons in the last 2 weeks that I was helping work or whatever in some way. Last week I was helping out Ming Chin, who was on the last week's episode of the podcast. And this week I helped Steven Russell. I was guest relations, which was pretty neato, at one of my favorite cons, River Region Comic Con, because one of my friends runs it. He started it last year. And I did guest relations last year with Bo Billingsley, which was great. And this year I got to work with Steven Russell, who is the voice of Cogsworth from
How many years has he been
Fallout
doing it?
4. He's been voice acting for maybe 20 years.
No, the con.
Oh, the con's only in its 2nd year.
Oh, Jesus. Are his shoes still good?
I don't get the joke.
You said he was running the con.
God damn it.
Hey!
But yeah,
got her.
That's what I did. My sense of humor is all out of whack because I've got no sleep because I'm learning con stuff. Yeah, we've both been pretty sleep deprived, but it's okay because we're living our best life and we're making it happen. And yeah, that was my week. Another thing that happened, if anybody follows me on Twitter, KaniDay Official, or any of my social media things, Wendy's DM'd me.
Yeah, they did.
That was crazy.
They slid in them DMs.
They slid in those DMs, but they have not re-DM'd me since, and they haven't even seen my response. So I feel like Wendy's senpai is ghosting me, and I'm feeling real salty about it. So Wendy's senpai, if you're listening,
Wendy's
I love
DMs
you.
coming.
I love you. Please, baby, come back. Wendy's, come back.
Yes,
you can blame it all on me.
Why do you want Wendy's? You got Whataburger in your state. They can
Yeah, but
just
they
be,
don't
like,
have a
there for-
waifu.
Yeah, they do.
Do
It's
they?
Whataburger. With a person who works there. That's a waifu enough. They give you that delicious food.
Nah.
Yes, they give you that delicious food.
Nah.
Yes.
I mean, their burgers are really tasty.
They literally have a
I
W.
do that
What do you
tomorrow.
think it stands for?
It stands for
Waifu.
what?
Yeah, there you go.
Dang
Duh.
it. They actually released a really cute ad recently that I liked. It was like them putting up the Whataburger symbol, like, what's a good deed you can do? Driving your friend to Whataburger at 12 at midnight. And it was like all in this comic book style. And I thought it looked really cute. I thought they were going to introduce a like a superhero or something, but they didn't. But I
Wow,
like
what
the
a
aesthetic.
burger! And then he like beats up the bad guy,
Yeah.
and every time he bites into it, he's just like,
Yeah,
"What a
that would
burger!"
have been awesome. Like
like
if they had like a
Popeye.
kind of a Wonder Woman parody like thing. So like when the W goes up, it's like what a woman. Like that would have been awesome.
What a woman!
What a woman! Like that would have been great.
Or they would have been just like eating and like, "What a whoa, man!" Yeah, there you go.
Like there's so much possibility. And I think what they ended up going with was like not as good as they could have been. Oh man, I'm actually gonna turn on my phone right now and see if I can go find that Whataburger ad and see what they tried to say for it, because it was a wasted opportunity.
Are you sure it was wasted? I'm sure it did its job because it's Whataburger.
What
And
a
Whataburger's
waste.
delicious.
Your face is Whataburger.
Oh, you really? So you're
Got
saying
him.
I'm delicious all over? You right?
No,
Yes,
just your
you
face.
right.
The rest of you sucks. Just kidding. You're a beautiful human being.
That's
And I
right.
respect you.
Shut up,
Oh,
baby. I know it.
They changed it to, or they didn't change it. They made it what a moments. Like that doesn't.
What a
That's not even
moment.
what a moments. That's not even grammatically correct. Whataburger.
You could have
Get your
said, "What a
shit
wonder."
together. Yeah, what a
Wha-
wonder or something. Like
You gotta have
They-
that alliteration, son.
they like the ad starts with like a hero is someone that shares their fries with you. A hero is someone that grabs forks and napkins for the whole table. And then it like does like the superhero sign in the sky, but it's like the Whataburger symbol, which I thought was cute. I like the aesthetic. But it's not like it's wasted opportunities, man. Like what a moments like flashes on the screen, and it's not like
What a
I'm
moment.
I'm gonna retweet it. So
What a
for anybody listening
whoa
to this
man.
tomorrow-
Because it's like you're eating a sandwich, you're like, whoa. And then it's just like,
yeah,
man.
they should have been like maybe what a moment or something. But
That's
they're
what I
like,
just
"What?"
said.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to repeat what you said. Yeah, they should have been like "what a moment" instead of "what a moment." Shut up, Jordan. It's my idea. I
It's like
stole
Simone
it from
and Pumbaa.
underneath you.
Yo, well, they could say this.
Yeah, but what if they said this? I just said that.
I just
saw-
said that.
I saw something recently about like what if John Mulaney just voiced like everyone in The Lion King.
What,
Like, he
the
was
guy who was
Timon and
Spider-Ham?
Pumbaa. Yeah, Spider-Ham.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of
Peter
my favorite
Porker.
comedians.
Mm.
Which actually brings us to our first question. Speaking
Oh, it
about
does?
people that inspire us.
It does.
Why
People
don't-
who
why don't
inspire us, and we always have to go, and I'm not stalling for time scrolling up to find the comment while moving.
no.
Yeah, so, Katie. All right, remember, we're going to work on our, like,
Go on.
segues today. All right,
Yes,
we're gonna
segues.
so train yourself to do them well.
I shall.
Since you mentioned voice actors and online people who inspired you, who are some of your biggest mainstream celebrity inspirations and why? And this comes from Mikael.
All right. So, do you have any?
Yeah,
I
of
think I
course.
know one of yours.
Oh yeah, you already know.
Yeah.
If you smell, look at the tongue, look at the tongue, look at the tongue, what the Rock is cooking. I
Yeah.
love The Rock. The Rock is so motivational. Like, you just go on his Instagram and you just want to go bench press like 500 pounds afterwards. Like, he is just so
Oh, yeah.
likable, so cool, like so charismatic. He's just like a guy who's like, I'm up at 5 a.m. every day. You gotta grind for what you believe in. You gotta be strong overall, but you also gotta be nice. Like he had this great quote. He's like, it's
Yeah.
nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. So always do your best and do this stuff. And even though he plays
Yeah.
the same character in every movie he's in, and most of his movies are sort of, and I like The Rock. He's a really
Yeah.
cool guy. I would like, that's one person, like I mentioned before, there are only 3 people in the world I would geek out at meeting, like, oh my god, like it would be like The Rock, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Will Smith. Those are the 3 people I
Yeah.
would just be like, what the I think I would like have to have a problem. Like
Yeah,
I need someone to
yeah.
talk for me. But yeah, I love The Rock so much. He's so inspirational, and just that idea of grinding, like working hard for what you got to like get it.
Yeah.
I love that message because like so many people are just like, oh, my life sucks, or they'll marginalize or like mitigate. What they do is I heard this term a while ago and I love it. Is like something I noticed is like people will mitigate feelings of inadequacy when they see someone more successful than them. So like they'll like say, oh, this person was born rich, this person has this genetics, this person's on drugs, this person this, and it's just like, okay, like it's good, but that doesn't exonerate you from working hard for what you want to accomplish. Like,
yeah,
like
I mean, there can be a conversation there though about like systematic things that have definitely given certain people privileges that others might not have, and you definitely start like further back if you didn't have as much, if you didn't have a small loan of $1 million. So I think there is an argument there. But
again, let me say this real quick. That right there, I'm not justifying it. It's just like, okay, if it is harder for you, that makes your story better. You had to go through a bunch of like crap to make your story like, yeah, I had to do this. Well, this person was gifted here. I literally started at the bottom and I grew to be successful. So like that right there, that makes your entire story better. Like you know, they never write stories about people like, oh, there's like this thing about knights and dragons. Yeah, I know dragons are mythical creatures, even though there was that documentary on the one who gave his heart to that knight. All right, so it was
yeah. I still need to watch the third How to Train Your Dragon.
It's like they write these stories of these knights who slay dragons, and dragons is an accomplishment. They're like a insane thing to fight. Like you're a small person, you got to go slay a dragon, and they don't write stories about the knights who are like, oh yeah, really, I could slay the dragon, I just don't want to, or something like that. They write about the people who overcame the struggle and went through all that hardship to do it. So slay your dragon, people. Slay your dragon in your life. All right?
Everybody has different obstacles in their life for sure, and
yeah, so that's your dragon, whatever it is.
Not fair there, yeah. Because, like, yeah, some people they have a head start, but that doesn't mean you can't accomplish great things and find people to help you and stuff. And, like, yeah, I definitely can agree with that message. Is there anybody else that you feel inspired by besides The Rock?
The Will Smith. Will Smith is like the king of cool. Will Smith is like the most charming man alive. Like it's just like, I mean, even though he's become sort of like a meme now because of that like whole thing, like he is still, and he made like some movies like as a kid, like that was just the dude right there. Like he's just so charming and charismatic and likable. It's just like, I don't know what it is, it's just something about him. It's just like, oh man, he's so cool. Like he's so, I like it. He's just like, he has great flow, he's got great rhymes. I respect him so much and stuff like that. Like I like, honestly, if there was like something that happened to him, like, oh, he passed away or died, so I would like cry so hard. Like, what like it'd just be like, oh. But
he's definitely been very culturally significant, and has definitely done a lot of work that's influenced a lot of people for sure.
Yeah, I love him to death.
Do you have any women inspirations?
Oh God, yeah. There's so many women MMA fighters who I just like go, dude, you were so badass and strong. Like there's some athletes, like I honestly, I could probably give like a whole
different
like,
list,
list of like women, because like women, honestly, this is a true story right now. I don't know what it is. Like women who are fit inspire me more than guys who are fit, because it's not like a thing of like, oh, women are weak or something like that. It's just like the fact that like women stereotypically don't like like, you know, the stereotype is like, oh, they don't like to be strong, something like that. But so like there's ones who's like, no, forget that. I want to be strong. I want to take care of myself. I like to, you know, do squats, do all this stuff, and it's just like, that is hot as fuck to me and inspirational to me, because it's just like, oh wow, this girl is like being her own superhero. She doesn't need no guy. She's just like her own like bad. I love that so much. It's just like, I have nothing but respect for that. It's just like, wow, because you're like, you're not used to like girls like going out like, oh yeah, I was going to the gym and I was like doing my workouts and I was training and I was just, you know, doing this and I feel great and I love my life and I just, you know, feel you know, super confident. I love that so much. That is one of the most attractive qualities to me. It's just like, oh, that is, you take care of yourself, honey. You take care of yourself. You just be so strong. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I, two of my main people that I have drawn inspiration from through a lot of my life are women. Sarah Bareilles is actually one of the big inspirations that I have, and it was actually really cool when me and Jesse went to see Waitress a while back together. he had also wanted to go because like Sarah Bareilles was going to be performing, and he loved her music as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, because obviously you can't truly know what a person's life is like or what they're going through, etc. But you can only see what they put out there. And
Right.
everything that Sarah's ever put out there has been inspiring for me because it's always brought a perspective that I didn't see before about like love or life or relationships or situations that you don't know how to get out of.
Right.
Like her music has definitely brought me out of dark places and been something that I've used to help myself become stronger. Like listening to the messages of her writing. And and Taylor Swift has actually been a huge inspiration throughout my life
Tay
too.
Sway.
Yeah, I really like Taylor Swift, and I know I mean, I guess I don't know. That could be controversial because, like, some people are like, oh, she's lame or whatever. All she writes about is love. And it's like, but who doesn't write about love? Like, an artist should write about what they want to. And, like, not that, again, you can never truly see everything a person's going through. But from what she has put out, the qualities and the stories that she has told and put out there, and then the actions I've seen her put out there, have inspired me. And I've definitely listened to her songs and felt like I've gotten like I'm listening to something that I've been through or something that I understand, and it's helped me in those times.
Right.
And just one thing that inspired me about her and Sarah too was when people would be saying like all of these generic insults about them or whatever, how they would just keep doing their thing and consistently try to tell their stories, even if people were like, don't tell those stories, we don't care about them. It's like, well, then don't listen. Like, like, yeah, stuff like that. Like, they were definitely inspirational. And George Watsky is another really big inspiration of mine. He is a spoken word poet / rapper. And I consistently drew strength from his spoken word poetry growing up. And I love his music and just the philosophies and stuff that he holds and what he puts out into the universe. And like, there was a lot that he was doing different growing up in entertainment. Like back in the day, like one decision that he had made was like he never wanted to run ads on his videos, and any money he ever made from his videos, he would put it back into making more videos and stuff like that. Not that like you can't, use your money for other stuff. Like not saying that other people that don't do exactly that are less than or whatever, but when he had a principle, he would generally like stick by it. And maybe later in life, like he changed some of those views and he grew and he was like, okay, I might do ad stuff now or whatever. But he would be pretty transparent about that and like really want to have those conversations with people.
Right.
And I love the content he's producing now too, and the honesty and the vulnerability that I feel he showcases in his work. Yeah, those are some big, I guess they're big celebrities, like, because it's interesting the wording of like biggest mainstream celebrity, because celebrities in society can differ based on, I guess, the genre of celebrity or what they fall into. Because like Team 4-Star have definitely reached mainstream celebrity in certain communities.
In communities, yeah.
Yes,
but I think...
Yeah,
Oh,
but
I'm
not
sorry.
in like, oh yeah, sorry. But not in like, I guess, quote unquote, worldwide, but it can depend. Like,
Well, I think it goes like this.
definition.
Like, for instance, all right, like we talked about this before, but like we both like Ninja Sex Party, right? Like if you go to most people, you go like Ninja Sex Party is pretty cool, but if you go to like someone who's not keen on like who that is or something like that, you're just like, oh, who's that? Oh, like, it's just a guy on there like I listen to, he's really talented.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I
cool.
guess-
But then if you say someone like Usher or Michael Jackson or something
So
like
they
that,
want
they're like
household names. He wants
yeah,
to
household
know the
names,
household
yeah.
names.
Yeah, like someone like, oh, I know that person's big everywhere. Like I know who that is. Like if I say like,
'cause-
oh,
Yeah. Oh, because it's interesting because I've been listening to Taylor Swift since I was like 14 when she put out her first record, Tim McGraw, and nobody really knew who she was. And so it's interesting when I saw that transition happen from like she was, on my favorite radio station to, oh, she is like, she's Taylor Swift. Like she's this person. So it's interesting seeing those dynamics shift. And like I've drawn
Ariana
inspiration.
Grande.
Yeah, like Ariana Grande. Yeah. And Markiplier, for example, too, I think could be considered a household name at this point.
I wouldn't say yet. Nah, not yet.
No?
Like
Okay,
I
'cause,
wouldn't
like,
say
with all
yet.
the
Like
Make-A-Wish
PewDiePie
stuff,
is more a household name
that's
because
true. That's true.
yeah, like because he's done like very same. Or what's that? What's that one? I forget her name. The Indian girl who.
Oh, Lily Singh.
Yeah, Lily Singh. She's got her own talk show now.
She would probably be close to, because they've been on Jimmy Fallon and stuff. Like,
Yeah. So she's like got her own talk show and stuff like that now. So she's more
so
mainstream.
YouTubers can definitely, internet celebrities can be, I guess, household names, but MatPat actually put out an interesting video about that when it came to YouTubers and gaming YouTubers and media and stuff, and
Like,
it was a really essentially it's a really cool, interesting video about how the media kind of perceives YouTubers and how gaming YouTubers are apparently not permitted to be in a or in a certain category of influencer. Like, they can never achieve top influencer, even though the #1 subscribed channel on YouTube is PewDiePie. Even though
he doesn't do games anymore.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's just one of those things because I know
yeah,
I think
it's an interesting video. Definitely watch.
I mean, it is an interesting like topic because it's just like at the end of the day, well, the commentary is great, and then like that is a discussion to be had. Like, okay, like what makes this influencer so great? All right, they play video games. Now, if you go to someone who's like a bigger up, and they're like, oh, they play video games. What else do they do? No, they just play video games and do funny commentary over it.
Yeah,
oh,
it's interesting
okay.
though, because one thing MatPat touches on in the video is that gaming YouTubers are in like the top percentage of Make-A-Wish Foundation requests, and they raise the most money for charity.
Right, they do
on YouTube. Yeah, so
streaming.
like, yeah. So it's interesting that like MatPat goes into it deeper in the video, but like that despite those contributions, they are still not taken, quote unquote, seriously. In some categories they are, like it. Yeah, just watch the video. Sorry.
No, it's cool. I mean,
it's really good.
I know, like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a level of like, I mean, okay, because like I think someone said, I forget. I think it was like a big. I think it was either Niga Higa or Jessica, Jenna Marbles or something like that.
Yes,
and they were
Jenna
talking about
Marbles.
like how oh yeah, I think I'm like a D-list celebrity because it's like I can still go out to like the store and maybe some people will recognize me but no, but it's not like if I would say someone like The Rock or Michael Jackson where I can't leave the house, like I can't go to Chuck E. Cheese, I can't go to all these places without people swarming me. So that's good. I like the fact that I'm making money and I can support myself, but not
and
everyone
voice actors
swarms
can
me
kinda
when I
stay
leave the
there
house.
too. Like, it's good to just be like main or a household name in certain communities, like
In-house,
like
yeah.
like Charles Martinet, like the voice of Mario and Sonic, or not Sonic. That would be hilarious. No, the voice of Mario and most of the Nintendo characters. Which, when you look at the character Mario, is a household name, recognized everywhere. Like,
the voice
I think
is a different story.
Yeah, the voice actor is a different story, and so that's one great thing about voice acting is that you are kind of the blue collar workers of the acting world, so you can have a normal life. And still do this amazing thing that you want. And
yeah, and you can like be a superstar at like conventions. So like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like that's
really
the cool thing
channel
about it is like if you do this online thing and you like not that you should like aim to do it or something, like, if it just happens from your success and that's just how it goes. It like if you're walking to the store, like, because honestly I think about like if my channel like blew up to I don't know, like 1 billion or some ridiculous number of subscribers, something like that, and everyone like recognized me, like when I left the house, that would just be so annoying. Like I'm just trying to sit down and eat, and then like, hey, and it's just like it's really humbling and honoring. Like but then some people just go like, because I saw this whole thing like celebrities who just like are literally just trying to mind their business, get some food, and then like some random fan just comes up like, hey, can I get a selfie? And they just grab them and selfie, and it's just like, dude, I'm with my kid right now. What the heck is wrong with you? It's just like so.
Yeah, there's definitely a big conversation to be had about like proper etiquette when you're talking to human beings that happen to be like in these spotlight situations, and it's interesting because there's etiquette on both sides as well, because there is the argument of like, well, you're nothing without your fans, but at the same time, no, they're their own person, and they don't, like, if you show up to their house, they don't have to be kind to you if you're crossing boundaries. If you're crossing another person's boundaries, they don't owe you anything. Mm-hmm. You're being a disrespectful cunt.
Yeah, it is. That's true.
So, like, yeah, because, like, with the Logan and Jake Paul stuff that was going on, especially, like, I definitely have mostly negative opinions about them. But one thing that I did agree with that I saw was going on that I felt bad for them for was when people were like showing up to their house constantly. I was like, that should not be the standard, and I don't think they wanted that based on some stuff I saw. Maybe it's a
thing where they hire people to do it. Cause
maybe
like,
there's more to it. I don't know. No, I don't think they were.
Some
hiring
people
to come
do
to their
that.
house.
Some people
I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that's one situation in particular with them and with any celebrity, no matter like what's going on. Like if somebody's showing up to their house and yelling at them, "We're your fans. You owe us." Like
fuck you.
People deserve a private life. They deserve human decency of having, time for themselves. And
you don't want like a Beatles situation to happen where your fan breaks in and shoots you or some crazy nonsense like that.
Yeah. And so like doxing should be taken seriously, and like you should never threaten the physical safety of someone, or like no matter what opinion they have, and like etc. Like just a lot of that kind of stuff is an interesting topic too. But yeah, celebrity
that line, that door is locked for their safety, not my safety.
Yep.
That's what I say.
But yeah, celebrity inspirations. Those are three big ones that I can think of. But Watsky, I think, isn't a household name. I think the only one that I named that was a household name is Taylor Swift. Sarah Bareilles is up there probably. But
yeah, I mean it's crazy, man. Like it's like it's one of those things you like look at. And it's just like you gotta respect all the stuff that they go through, like Taylor Swift and all like the girls I love, like they're just like so super fit. And speaking of fitness,
hey, there's that segue.
Yeah, there you go. You try next time.
Yes. All right. So our next question is from Anonymous, and it is opinion on intermittent fasting for women. Yay, women.
Yeah.
Women are cool.
Okay. What do you say?
I think it's really great based on the stuff that I've learned. Because I don't know like how it affects the different sexes' bodies and stuff. But at least for me, I saw some pretty good results when I was committing to it. But that's the thing, is it's about the commitment, of course. And when I was doing it, I would look up like what's the amount of calories that I should have to healthily lose weight over time. And so I found that like 1,500 calories was a good place for my body weight and height and age and gender and stuff, which again, I don't know how gender and sex and stuff goes into it, but I typed it into the calculator. And so I would have like a window where I could eat. So sometimes I would do like 11 to 7 or 12 to 8 or like maybe 10 to 6 or 10 to 7, depending on how I'm feeling, because you have to play it by like what your body is telling you. And it worked really well for me, and I was able to feel really good when I was doing it. It's just I dropped off of the commitment part. But so that's pretty much as I know about it. But yeah, what would you say? What are the differences in how it affects the sexes?
There are some studies that show like, now first off, this is my thing to you, is like this is my advice to anyone when starting a diet thing. If you want to find out if it works best for you, is I have two methods. One, if you have health insurance. One, if you don't have health insurance. The first way, if you do have health insurance, is to go to the doctor, get a checkup, make sure everything, like see where you're at like right now, and then do it for about 4 to 8 weeks, and then follow like how like they change your body. Because like when you start doing a diet, regardless of what it is, like it could be literally anything that's like making you eat more vegetables and healthy stuff, you'll see some improvement regardless, because you're eating healthier, you're not eating junk food and potato chips and all that stuff all the time. So like that's a key thing to take into account. So you have to like constantly see like, is my body improving or am I doing damage to it? If you feel like a decline's happening, then that's like, okay, I can see that, I'm gonna stop doing it. If I don't, and then whatever. But with like women, I know there was like some things like saying like, oh, they experience changes to like their their menstrual cycles or something like that, or if they're like or like their bodies, the blood sugar control was not as great as someone else who's like a man doing it. But honestly, I think that's just like, you have to experience stuff for yourself. Like a lot of people these days are a bit scared to like find stuff out for themselves, like test stuff out on their bodies themselves. Like my thing for me is I'm actually kind of happy with this. Is like I have like a tool belt of various diets I've done. Like I've done like vegetarian, vegan, keto, paleo, Mediterranean, like no carbs, like low carbs, stuff like that. Like I've been doing those like consistently for years just to see what they do. So now I'm able to access like, oh, this is how my body feels. What's the plus of it? All right, this is the plus. This is the takeaway. Okay, like this is the negative thing about it. So like for me, I found just a healthy, balanced meeting plan works best for me. But for women, I do suggest just like trying it, but taking it like slow. Like you don't have to do something like a 16-hour fast. You probably do like 14, 15.
Yeah.
Because I think you should.
Essentially what intermittent fasting is, in case we didn't do a
explain
good job.
Maybe
explaining
its
it. Yeah.
body is fasting.
Yeah, it's like you have a window during the day. It could be like a 6-hour window. It could be an 8-hour window. It could be a 10-hour window. Whatever works for you. And during that time is when you consume all of your calories. So essentially, if I, for example, was doing 1,500 calories, I would maybe have 300 to 400 in the morning calories. Then I might have like a 600 calorie lunch. And then I'd maybe have like a 500 calorie dinner or something like that. Or if I just don't do breakfast, if I just have like a 100 calorie breakfast, which is just like maybe a banana. Yeah, or some fruit. Then I can have like 700 calorie lunch, 700 calorie dinner. And surprisingly, like it can be hard to fill up those calories because sometimes the meals that you look at are not a lot of calories if you're doing like healthy food. And like vegetables especially, it sometimes takes a lot of them to get to the right calories. And so when I said like 11 to 7 earlier, that means like, okay, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. is when I can eat. And after 7 p.m., like I don't snack before bed. And that's been something people have recommended before. Like, maybe after 7 or 8 p.m., after you've had dinner, don't just snack throughout the night. And so that's essentially what you're doing is you say, okay, after this meal, I'm not going to have anything else to eat tonight and not until tomorrow at 11 a.m. or 10 a.m., whenever you start again. So sleeping in the night is one of the good ways, I guess, to burn calories in that sense.
Well, sleeping is like the prime way you burn fat. Like that's one of the things. Like a lot of people, when you sleep more, you burn more fat, and that's actually really good. Like because your body has to do all these like little processes to keep you alive. Like there are so many like little biological processes that I could go in depth with, but it'd be turned into a science podcast, and we don't want to do that right now. But like, yeah, your body basically, to sum it up, like does a bunch of stuff to keep you alive and like burns fat and does all that. And yeah, like again, for me, one of my favorite fasting windows is just 12 to 8 p.m. So, like, I don't eat Well, I do eat breakfast because just look at the word break fast. That's what it is.
Da-da-da.
Yeah, there you go. It's like literally when you eat your first meal, that's your break fast. And, I personally like to have 2 big meals instead of like miniature meals throughout the day because I feel like they're more satiating. And I feel like, oh, yeah, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like I try to have like about 1 to 2 gallons of water a day too, just to help make sure everything's running. And that's what I do. And so like to this missus, I do feel like if you want to try out intermittent fasting, start slow, do it like a easy thing. You could probably do like 10 to 6, and then if you feel like horribly because like the first couple days it doesn't take that long to adapt to intermittent fasting. It takes like a couple days. Like it may take longer if you're really really not used to it, but like the first couple days your body's going to be tricking you into thinking you're hungry when it's just like, oh no, you're well fed, like you're not going to starve to death. Your body's just like tricking you, so it teaches you like, oh yeah, I don't need to eat right now, I can just hold off doing that.
And you are allowed to, during your fast period, you're allowed to drink water and black coffee.
Oh, yeah, make sure you do drink water. That's a key thing. A lot of people think like, oh,
definitely.
I don't consume anything because, no, you need water. Like, water is going to help you.
Yes.
And you can have black coffee, too, if you really feel like you need that energy boost to just, and that. Also, another thing, black coffee helps, like, hold off your appetite even more so you can, like, get into a deeper fast if that's what you want to do. Like, it keeps you, like, your appetite suppressed.
And one thing, too, because it's about, like, the discipline and dedication and how it affects, like, your metabolism. Because I think when you're having that fasting period, it's allowing it to, like, take away the fat instead of the meal you just ate or something. But what my boyfriend does when he's intermittent fasting, which he's done a lot, is he when he's feeling hungry after he's, had his designated meal for the day, if he can never drink just like plain water. He has to have like flavored stuff. But he gets those little EOS things, which are technically calories, so it will be technically breaking the fast. But it's worth it for him because it's like a small enough amount that it's not going to be crazy. Like it's not like a mistake big enough to where it'll throw everything off.
Or you can use lemon juice too. Lemon juice
Yeah.
works just as well and actually makes your skin look super sexy.
But yeah, so if you're in the middle of, you know, an intermittent fast and like it gets to maybe like 8 o'clock and your dinner was at 7 and you're just like, oh my God, I just feel miserable. And you need like some flavored water, or you just want to eat like a 50-calorie thing or a 100-calorie thing. It doesn't mean you're completely destroying everything.
Yeah, like, or here's a little fit tip for you. There's a little fit tip that helps this helps a lot of my clients too, is like you get some sparkling water. Like if you don't know what sparkling water, there's like club soda fizzy water, and pour some, like, you know, you can get Mayos or whatever it's called, like, and you just pour it in there, or lemon juice and pour it in there, and then you drink that before bed. Like that'll actually help stave off your hunger for a bit. Like it's actually like a good thing. So if you feel like that, but I know a lot of people don't like drinking for bed, because I hate drinking a lot of water for bed because I keep getting up to go pee, and I fucking hate getting up to go pee. And it's just like I wish they would invent something that you could like pee in near your bed, and then it will just like filter in the air.
Hospitals have done that. Oh well.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, but some like, you know, like a sort of like a healthy, not like a hygienic pee bucket where like what it does is it like turns your pee into like a mist that's like, oh yeah, this is a beneficial mist for the air. It's not like something that, oh, it's gonna just make your room smell like piss.
That's interesting.
Patent pending.
All right. Any scientists out there that want to create this mystery machine?
No, I'm gonna make it and become rich, and then people will be like, what the fuck is that? It's gonna be as great as the titty bear.
Oh my gosh. That sounds like something that would exist like in another world. And speaking of other worlds.
Oh, okay. I see. I'll give you a 3 out of 5 for that. Like,
dang it! Okay.
That was good though. It was
guys,
good.
Guys, in the comments below on anything you're listening to, rate our segues, or if you have better ideas for how we could have segued, please tell us, because segues are my obsession.
Okay. Yeah, I know they're really fun to ride in the mall.
Okay. So yeah, this next question comes from
Devin
Dinkins.
Actually,
it's your question, so why don't you ask it?
The question comes from Devin Dinkins, and it's a pretty deep question because it's been going on all week on freaking Twitter, Facebook, and everywhere. And the question is, My Hero Academia or Naruto?
Dun dun dun.
Well, it's pretty simple. One of them doesn't have an ostrich fight that lasts.
Okay, we're gonna on the count of 3. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then we'll say our answer. Okay. Let's say what ours is. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Naruto.
Dragon Ball Z.
God damn it.
Got you.
That's not one of the choices here.
Okay, fine. Go again.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Naruto.
My Hero Academia.
Damn. Do you actually feel that way?
Yeah, I do. Well, you know, here's the thing. I'll give. No, because, again, a lot of people say, well, it's kind of unfair to compare that one of the series is finished and the other series is like ongoing. Yeah. Well, like, this is what I'll give Naruto. Naruto, absolutely, when it comes to fight scenes and choreography, it slaps most series. I don't care what anyone says. Naruto has the best martial arts choreography for fight scenes, like Madara wiping out the people, Rock Lee fighting, Sasuke versus Naruto, Kakashi versus Obito. All those things are awesome. But then, like, when you get to their story, like when you watch the anime, even when you cut out the filler, there is some shit. I was watching Naruto Shippuden the other day. There was this whole episode of Naruto and Orochimaru staring at each other on a bridge for 23 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
23 minutes of just like,
good stuff.
Fight each other. Come on, do something, guys. What the hell is going on here? And then like, it's just like, oh, yes, we're going to like have a battle. You want Sasuke back, don't you? And it's just like ridiculous. Like, what I love about My Hero Academia is they get to like, when they get to like their fights and stuff like that, it's like wrapped up pretty like quickly. Even though the fights, like, I'm just gonna be real, the fights in My Hero Academia is just like, I punch you harder and that's what kills you. And it's just like, well, that shouldn't work like that because he has every single power there was and you beat him by punching him. But okay, whatever, there you go. But it's just, it's then people say, oh, it's about the emotional impact of the fight. And it's just like, whatever. Okay, so for me personally, I think most of the kids, excluding like Naruto, because I think of it like this. All right, so let's look at the class, all right, the class of kids, and then like compare that with the Naruto class of kids. Now Naruto class of kids, I really like Hinata Tata. I like
oh yeah,
Rock Lee is my boy. We do push-ups together.
Oh yeah.
I like Ten in the Rock Lee and Ninja Palace show, but her personality in the other show. I mean, she's cool, but like there's no one like I'm like, oh wow, that's like really cool. I mean like.
When it comes to like the female characters in both of the shows, I definitely think My Hero Academia has written them better.
Yeah.
Or at least I like the representation and the way that they approach.
Uraraka, I would fight a fucking dragon for.
Oh
like,
yeah,
she is just so adorable. She's just like I don't know if you hate Uraraka, that's like hating a puppy to me.
Oh yeah.
And I think there's something wrong with you, and I think you're an asshole.
Like I think in Naruto Shippuden versus the original Naruto, I think the female characters got like. They got to be like badass and do all their cool stuff, but they're compared to like these demigod of characters, like Naruto and Sasuke. Yeah, and versus but Lady Tsunade I think was a really well done character. But like in My Hero Academia, I can really feel like the equality between them all and like how their respect that they have for each other. And so, there were times in Naruto that I felt like they were lacking in that. Not entirely, but there were times where I didn't feel it was kind of where I would have liked it to be.
Yeah, Hinata should have did more badass stuff.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. And so that's one thing that I would definitely give a point to My Hero Academia on. But
and Sakura is.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll say this about Sakura because Sakura gets like a bad rap, but like some parts I go, all right, I think Sakura's cool like with this stuff, but then like there's some parts I'm like, Sakura, honey,
oh no,
baby,
there's some shit.
It's just like why like
I know.
There's so much stuff like that, and it's just like come on now.
Yeah,
and,
like the time when she tried to fake confess that she loved Naruto.
Oh, that was just like, cringe. I hated that. Was painful. I remember reading that chapter and I was like, shut the fuck up.
I know. But like there was other stuff about her because like I like the conversation about like real women characters. They have flaws, and like that's great. Of course, I would love to see in-depth women characters with flaws that aren't just related to their sexuality, like or who they're wanting to date. And I think My Hero Academia does really well with that, talking about like the motivations and stuff for the characters and their desire to be heroes and stuff. And in Naruto they do touch on that in little bits, and especially in Shippuden when the war is happening. Like Sakura really shines, and I really look up to her character during that time, doing the best that she can. And like Lady Tsunade is especially a good example of them showing her complex issues. Granted, it is through like her love of Dawn and how he died and how her vulnerabilities and her desire to bring him back are what tempted her to heal Orochimaru in the first place. So that was more focusing on her like love story there. And I would have loved to see more stuff related to that, or more stuff related to her other complexities besides just a gambling problem, I guess. But
and big titties.
And big old titties. But yeah, I think they both have like their ups and downs there, and that's just one element of judgment that I wanted to talk about. But one reason that I think Naruto is still like my number one, I think there can be some credits going to my nostalgia glasses because I was born and raised on Naruto. Yeah, I was very much influenced by Naruto growing up, and like it was one of the biggest inspirations for me growing up, especially Rock Lee. And I think the way that they told some of those stories, like Rock Lee and Gaara's arc, the
Rock Lee inspired you so much.
Yeah.
You do push-ups every day.
I tried when I tried to do the mile run. I pretended to take off my weights. I tweeted about that once.
Did you have your Rock Lee haircut? Is that why you had the Rock Lee haircut as a kid?
No, I hadn't watched Naruto when I was in elementary school, so I did not have my bowl cut because of Rock Lee. But no, there were a lot of characters and arcs in that were my first time experiencing that. So I will say that, yeah, my nostalgia is one of my big factors. But I definitely appreciated in the original series the way that they developed these characters and the way that their relationships, especially in the Forest of Death. I liked the Forest of Death and the tuning exams a lot more than I liked the
tournament arc, the
tournament arc in My Hero Academia.
Yeah, the sports festival.
Yeah, the sports festival. Like, I love the Bakugo Uraraka fight, definitely, but like the rest of it. Well, and I loved the Todoroki versus Deku when Todoroki felt like he could use both sides of his powers, like in Deku's conversation there. Those were some moments, but
And I whooped his ass.
consistently through the tuning exams and through, because I think it's fair to compare the original Naruto with My Hero Academia.
Oh, okay.
They're kind
that's
of in
what
the
we're
same
doing.
pubescent place. So I think there's a place where I think Naruto has more on My Hero, but then I love the and when it comes to like the next generation conversation, Naruto did it very well. You know, like for example, like the legendary Sannin passing on the torch, the will of fire, all of that stuff. I like how My Hero Academia is approaching it, you know, with All Might, with the one for all for one power. Like, I think Naruto did it really well, and I want, not necessarily better, but I personally prefer Naruto in that sense, in the way that they deliver that message. But My Hero Academia is still going, so they could definitely still blow me away with that. And there have been moments where I have definitely felt it, but I felt like Jiraiya's death was so like All Might, you know, is still here unless I'm 2 chapters behind right now, so unless something crazy's happened. But like they yeah, My Hero is still going, so it's not completely fair to 100% make all of those comparisons. But yeah, I will give you the microphone for a sec here. Those are kind of some of my reasons for making some of my decisions there.
Okay, well, I agree with you. Like, the first part of Naruto, I think is just great. Like, I think the first part of Naruto is better than Shippuden. Like, I always say.
Oh,
that.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, it's just like they made characters more unique, and there's so much I could just go about that. Though I will say, I freaking hated Kid Naruto's clothing compared to Teen Naruto.
Oh,
I
God.
love Teen Naruto. Teen Naruto's clothing's badass with the black and orange. Like, what the hell is he wearing a turtleneck for? Is a freaking I don't know what that happy was. It was stupid.
I liked how My Hero Academia tried to like justify their outfits. Like,
yeah,
so
I guess
that was good.
Yeah, I'm glad Deku's out of that bunny crap he was wearing.
Yeah, that was like,
so
I was
stupid.
like, come on, you had this designed and you're not even gonna tell us like why you have bunny ears.
Yeah, it's just silly. He was trying to
It's
make it
just
like look
cute.
like All Might. It's so stupid. But I think overall, the first season of Naruto, when they were non-filler, because like if we go overall, like I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I like the fact that, all right, so like if I rate this from quality wise, then there are certain aspects of Naruto which are really great, where it's like, oh, okay, cool, but then they got to like all the filler stuff, and then the filler worked when it was slice of life, but when they went in like, oh, we gotta go fight this fucking ostrich and anime and shit like that, it's just like, you could have just My Hero Academia works better when they take since they take breaks, it's seasonal, and it's like, oh yeah, it looks great all the way around. Like, that's one of the cool things about it, is like it looks great always. It's not like a thing like Naruto has some episodes where you look and you're like, and then there's some things like, oh, okay, that's cool.
One thing that I hope that My Hero Academia expands on is one of the main reasons that I picked Naruto, and it's, like I said, that the will of fire, the conversation about how the next generation will impact the future, and the third Hokage's sacrifice, for example, was one scene in Naruto that I've never forgotten. That was one of the first times I really broke down crying watching Naruto when I was younger, and the way that they did that in the manga and in the anime was so beautiful and inspiring, like with Konohamaru, like, and Naruto and Iruka, and there were so many elements to that I think My Hero Academia is also trying to be a story of like how the next generation passes on its abilities, like, so that everyone can grow stronger together and bring forth a new age, and in a lot of ways, like, I think it's doing a good job, but I think Naruto really nailed that in and really did a good job at telling that story. And I'd like to see My Hero Academia really tackle it well. And I think they're setting up a lot of groundwork for that. But like All Might is definitely a character that I think one day will have like a noble sacrifice. And when it gets here, I hope they do it well. But there's a lot of other like the way that Naruto got you attached to some of these father figure like characters and took them away from you and like taught you how you had to keep going.
Back.
Yeah. Or, oh man, when Asuma died and Shikamaru saw him as like a father, like there were so many connections.
Like, just let it out. I'll pick up the pieces.
Yes, like there were so many moments that I would love to see My Hero Academia take some of those avenues too. But that's why I choose Naruto over My Hero Academia, because like those connections that were built, and I'll tell it like it is. My nostalgia is in there, but I think I can also stand by my words too.
Okay. Well, the point is, Dragon Ball Z slaps both of them because you wouldn't have Naruto or My Hero Academia without Dragon Ball Z. So
This
take
is
that,
fair.
kiddies. Yeah.
All
of
very
you
fair.
would not exist without Dragon Ball or Goku. So yeah, say to replace kids.
Well,
but yeah,
I guess
remember.
under those conditions, that makes sense. But speaking of conditions,
Yeah, see, I gave it to you. It was like the layup. It was the layup. There you go. See, that was a good time. There you go.
Yes. Okay. So our next segue for my next question from Anonymous is, what are the ideal conditions to watch anime? I thought this was funny because I think everybody, when they're watching like a show or doing whatever they do to get comfy, if they're an anime watcher, everybody has different stuff that they do. Like some people will grab like a big bowl of popcorn and a soda and sit on their bed. Some people will put it on the TV and get on the floor and like get a bunch of pillows. Or some people like to watch it with a bunch of friends. Some people like to just be alone with their giant pile of snacks or with nothing or a healthy snack. Maybe that's Jordan. I don't know. What are your ideal conditions for watching anime, Jordan?
I remember when I was a kid, this is the stupidest thing. I would always get like a bowl. And I would get Sprite, and I would pour it in the bowl, and I pretend like I was drinking sake.
Oh my god! Yes!
Oh my gosh! Like,
I have stories like that too. I had chopsticks that whenever we would have Chinese food at a restaurant, I would take like a little unopened pack of chopsticks home, and I would eat like just the 50-cent ramen out of a bowl while I was watching Naruto.
Oh God! See, here's a little honest opinion about Jax people that y'all don't know. So there's always this time I have to go out either at conventions or with people that we go and eat Asian food because weebs, and every time. I am the only one who does not know how to use chopsticks, and I feel so bad because it's gotten to the point now where I actually sneak a fork with my pocket because I'm just like every time like they bring chopsticks and everyone else is just eating with them like so we're just having a conversation and I'm just like I'm trying to eat this rice, I can't eat this damn rice, I don't know how y'all are doing this, so I'm just gonna get my fork out, so I just can't do it. Well, I can't. I don't know how to use chopsticks. The fork, I prefer the fork anytime. And when I watch anime, I do typically. I remember when I used to watch DBZ as a kid. What I used to love to do was get like a whole bunch of Chinese food, even though it's Japanese. I would just get like a bunch of Chinese food, and I would just like pig out watching like those dumplings and egg rolls and like beef fried rice, and I would just like watch it, and I would just like try to eat along with the character. That probably explains why I have such a big appetite. But it's like I always like mimic how the Saiyans were eating, like bring some more egg rolls while you're at it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh God. Yeah, but
whenever I would watch how Naruto ate ramen, sometimes I would slurp a little bit because they'd just be like they get so into the ramen.
Yeah, you would. The ramen was good, and it was.
I think definite ideal conditions for me. Or I would love to watch. My favorite time watching anime was I had a Yu-Gi-Oh fold-out chair, and I would have it in my room, and I would have like whatever I guess Mom made for dinner. And she would bring it to me, like, I was so lucky. She supported me so much. I'd be like, Mom, Naruto's on or Yu-Gi-Oh's on, and I would be watching. I'd have to be home every Saturday night.
Accent. Like, you're like,
Mom,
freaking
Naruto's on.
Mom. No, you're like, I know you don't watch My Little Pony.
I'm watching Naruto.
I know you don't watch My Little Pony, but I just imagine you talking like Apple Bloom, like Applejack's little sister. But it's just like, Mom, Naruto's on.
My mom was so supportive because every Saturday night, when I didn't have like a bunch of friends. Like, eventually I found them, and they were weebs. But Saturday nights, I wouldn't really go out much, so I'd have to be home for Toonami. And if Mom had plans and she, like, had to take me with her, I'd be like, we have to be home by 8 or whatever time Naruto started, because I have to watch Naruto. And she would get me home. And, I don't think I was an asshole about it. I would just be like, Mom, please, I mean, maybe I was. Kids can be assholes. But, like, I just really wanted to watch Naruto. So when I would just sit in my room in my Yu-Gi-Oh fold-out chair and, like, if she like made me noodles or something to eat, like, and I would like have a cup of sweet tea.
Wait, the same room that I got to stay in? Was it the same room?
Yeah.
So you would just sit, like, where's the TV though in that room?
Oh, I don't have the TV in there anymore because after I had moved out for a little bit, I had taken it with me.
Okay.
But yeah, when I was home for graduation stuff, the TV.
Which way was it facing? Like,
it was facing my bed. which
Okay.
is also moved. So that my room used to look different.
Okay,
But yeah,
'cause
I would
I'm
have
trying to
my
piece
fold-out
this
chair
together.
facing the TV, and I would eat noodles or something and chips. Noodles and
you would-
chips
yeah,
and
you're-
a cup of sweet tea and then like some ice cream or something. And on commercial breaks, because like I didn't have it on the internet, I had to run. I would have to run to the bathroom or run to get a refill or something. And I would be like, "Thank you, Mom. Bye, Mom. Okay." those were good conditions to watch anime. Those were my favorite
Nice.
days. What about you?
I was pretty basic. I would just like go and I would just I would either watch like 4Kids TV or Fox Box when it was on, and I would like just watch it on like my bed. Like, so I would just like I would record it, because I remember I had VHS tapes and I would always record the stuff, and I'd be like, oh snap, it comes on at this time, I gotta be home. And like, because I remember back in my day, back in early 2003, Toonami, I mean like, well, Toonami was always like on during the weekdays that before they moved to Saturday nights. And so I remember when I was watching Dragon Ball, OG Dragon Ball, like OG classic Dragon Ball, it was coming on there doing the King Piccolo arc. I was like so hyped. I would always come home and I would just be like, I need to watch this right now, like how they're doing it, like what's going on here. And then I remember this one time I went out of town and I was like, Dad, can you record all the Dragon Ball episodes for me? I don't need Dragon Ball Z because I already have Dragon Ball. I had every Dragon Ball Z on like a VHS. That's a fun fact people don't know. I actually didn't watch most of Dragon Ball Z on Toonami because I had all the VHS tapes. But Dragon Ball, OG Dragon Ball, I watched the hell out of on Toonami.
Nice.
Like, that is something that a lot of people just, I just love it. So I would just come home, sit on my bed, and I would have like either cookies or food or something like that and just watch it. And then like I would just be so hyped up. And then I would, you know what, I would rewatch it afterwards with my action figures, and I would like reenact it with the stuff. So yeah. But nowadays, all I do is just if it's something I'm really into, because like it depends on what the show is. Like for instance, Black Clover, the first couple episodes of Black Clover, they're a bit slow. So like I just did it when I just watched it while I was like cleaning my room or doing some cleaning around the house, and I was like, okay, I'm getting into it. And then like when I gradually got into it, I would like stop cleaning and just like sit down and watch it. But then like most of the time I just sit down, watch it on the TV. That's it. Like when I watch My Hero Academia, I wake up, watch it in my bed with some food.
Oh,
that's
there is one way that I like to watch anime right now, because I used to not be so keen to watching anime with others because I like to like sing the songs, like do all the stuff, like. But
they keep talking.
Oh yeah, but me and Zach, we watch Kaguya-sama Love is War together, and he indulges me by letting me be like, oh my gosh, whenever something happens. So I like watching shows with him because he doesn't get mad when I talk because he loves me.
That's
but
awesome.
if I'm in a big group, I keep quiet unless it's like we're watching something where we're all allowed to openly laugh and jeer at it.
We've already seen. Like for me, I typically just watch stuff by myself. Because like, you know, sometimes like people just like to comment or something. I mean, it's nothing against it. Like sometimes I do watch it with other people, but like it's just like, okay, it depends. On,
I generally prefer like by myself. But
like I watch Steven
series,
Universe with like Paleo and them, and so like we will like have like this little group together, and and then that's how it, you know, stuff like that.
I watched Steven Universe alone because I didn't really have anybody that liked it. But watching
we watched it at Anime Expo.
We did watch it together at Anime Expo because I wasn't near TV, so I pulled it up on my phone and I was like, oh, let's watch it. Or you maybe pulled it up on your phone.
No, it was your phone.
Okay, it was my phone.
Yeah, and like we shared headphones and we were watching.
Yeah, because I needed to see the new episodes. Like so with Steven Universe, one thing I love to do is all of the theory videos from like the Round Table to Swaggy Thunder to Slice of Otaku. I loved watching their videos, and I still love seeing the stuff they put out. Like they're so talented, and like it's just so simple the content they make, but it's so addictive. And so I loved keeping up with the drama of Steven Universe with them. Not like specifically messaging with them, but like watching the videos and commenting and being a part of that community. And like whenever a new episode would come out, being like, ooh, what's Vox gonna say? And he's wonderful too. I met him at MomoCon 2 years ago before I even knew what he did. I think he was actually one of the inspirations for getting as into Steven Universe as I was, because I'd seen the show and I'd liked it, but getting as involved in the community as I did was definitely inspired by the Roundtable and their content. So I highly recommend checking them out and stuff.
Yeah, Steven Universe is good. Yeah, it's a really great show, but there are some episodes. And speaking of episodes,
I knew it. I knew you were gonna
there you go.
And some of their arcs aren't as good, but some.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna like tailor this out to like where like we just go at it like da. But let's answer this question that is next. And were you finished with your ideal condition?
Oh yeah, I was done there.
Okay, cool. So am I. And this question comes from Anonymous, and they say, what is the worst arc or season of a show you watched? Or if the show is good but has a chunk of episodes you dislike, what show would that be? Oh I'm
yeah.
about to go
Me
in.
and Jordan said we both know our answers, but we haven't told each other what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah.
Well, first off, let me ask this. Filler doesn't count because you don't have to watch it, right? I mean, like, technically, like, there's a whole site thing where it's like, you don't have to watch the filler, like, anime filler list. This is all the
then
filler.
Then I have two answers.
Okay then.
Okay, what's yours? Start us off.
First off, because I'm just going to do it to you, Steven. I'm sorry, Steven.
Oh, no!
Steven Universe is one of those shows that I sincerely do not give a fuck about any of the side characters that aren't the gems or any of the other people. It's just like, I don't give a fuck about you. Who are you? What the I don't care. Like, all right, the only one I generally like is Sadie, but like people like Ronaldo or the cool kids, I don't give a fuck about you. Or Mayadu, I do not like them. I don't care about their side stories. Like, I remember this whole time, like every time Steven goes to space, it was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. This is great. Like, honestly, my favorite character in the show is Lapis Lazuli. She's my favorite. But like every time they would go or like they interact with gems, I love those episodes. But then they would go talk to like people like, oh, Onion's gotta go get some new pants or some shit. Oh, this is what we gotta do today. Oh, Lars wants to bake a cake. Like, there were some episodes I actively skipped because I was like, I don't want to deal with this. Yeah. But then, like, you have to, like, there's certain things they put in them, like, oh no, actually, it's leading up to something. So I started fast forwarding episodes. But it's just like, I don't care. I don't care. Like, that whole time when they came back. Like, there was a week where they came back and it was just, like, a bunch of filler episodes. Like, they came back from space, and it was like, no, but we have to do this with Mayor Dewey. He has to do this. I was like, why? Let's get the story going. You had that momentum. Come on now.
I know.
No.
Like,
and then,
they
like,
definitely did a weird balance.
Yeah, and then, like, the whole thing with, like,
oh, Katy, she wasn't talking to me for a week, even though blah, blah, blah.
And it's just, like, you know, there's this YouTuber, I forget her name, but she did, and she was, like, honestly fair. She didn't do, like, one of those, like, because there were a bunch of hyperbolic YouTubers, like, Steven Universe is trash, and, like, I would never go that far. But, like, she, like, went and looked at it from a logical perspective of, like, this doesn't work because boom, 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 with the Connie boom, boom, boom thing. And it's just, like, another thing I gotta bring up is why I love Star Versus, because Star Versus, the Forces of Evil, does side characters so legit, because Star versus the Force of Evil makes you like all the side characters. You're generally interested, oh, what are they doing right now? I'm actually curious. So when it's not focusing on like Star and Marco, it's like, oh, it's on someone else. It's like, I'm actually really invested because this person is interesting. I want to know what they're doing. And it's just like, that's one of the reasons I think Star Versus like gets above Steven Universe when you watch it. When you get the chance to watch it, trust me, you'll like it. I'm telling you, you'll like the show. It's really, really great.
I think I watched like the first episode and I have the playlist saved, so I might check that out eventually.
Yes, definitely do. And then I guess another anime series, like a series there's so many series. You know what? Actually, I'll let you go for it because I'm going to go in on that one too. I want to hear your
I guess
report.
I was going to say, like, because with Steven Universe, like, I can agree and disagree with some perspectives there, because I think the Roundtable did a good job at, in their Crystal Clear, at kind of, like, talking about, like, the Townie episodes, and it doesn't have to be perfect for it to be enjoyable and for it to be a story that people can take away a lot from, But yeah, that's, I guess, a different whole topic. But yeah, I kind of liked a lot of the Townie stuff.
Star Versus would kick the crap out of them.
And that's fair. But yeah, mine is actually with Bleach.
I knew that was coming. I knew you were going to do that. Yeah.
Yep. Bleach. So if we're doing the rule about it can't be quote unquote filler, my first one was going to be the bounce. Like, because a while ago, I had said I kind of like the bounce, but when I think about it, I'm like, man, I tolerated the bounce. Like, but they were filler. So So I'll give him that. But in the actual series, like in the manga, they never even animated this. Actually, it
But
was
oh, go ahead.
in Bleach. They never even got to animate this. They ended the anime before they got to this part. So it's real. It's not filler because it's in the manga, the original script. But after when pretty much the last like 100 or so chapters of Bleach, like there were maybe a few good ones in there, but it was just like, what are you doing? Like after Ichigo essentially found out that he was like part Quincy, part all of this stuff, and then they have an arc about how there's a guy that was also a substitute Soul Reaper at one point, and I'm like, okay, that could be a cool concept. Like, of course, like there might be somebody from before that might have like a lot of interesting perspectives. They didn't do it really well. It took it in a totally weird direction. And they kept introducing character after character that they would kill off like 5 chapters later that you just didn't care about. And it would consistently throw these characters that you did not give a shit about, I guess similar to your complaint of Steven Universe. But it wasn't even Townie. It was they were trying to make it this huge, dramatic like thing when they were in the Soul Society fighting. And they were giving backstories to characters that no one knew, but then they would die immediately in battle and they'd expect you to feel something about it, and I was like, no, who are you? Like, and that was what
you?
Who are you? You don't even go here. So Bleach, a lot of the last 100 probably chapters or so of Bleach, I was just like, fuck you, what is happening? And I was just really salty. And in the anime, I think there was some not really good filler stuff too. But I will say, I loved a lot of the Naruto filler, actually. The Naruto filler was very wholesome
like
for me
ostrich
growing up.
shit.
Yeah, the ostrich, yeah.
Wow,
like, I loved all of that
ostrich.
shit. All of the Naruto filler. I'd say 90% of the Naruto filler I stood by. Like, especially with the Jin Cherokee, I loved it.
Is this your nostalgia goggles on?
It might be, but
yeah.
No, because I loved Bleach. And so it pained me to say that I really had a horrible time with that holding on there at the end. And yeah, that's my answer. Oh God.
Yeah, that's horrible. What else? There are like certain arcs and shows that I like a lot. I didn't care for, like Legend of Korra. I didn't like the first half of season 2. Like the first half of season 2, like it didn't grab me at all. Like I was just like, what the heck? Like Korra's annoying me. This whole thing is just lame. I don't like the villain. It's just that was just like some BS to me. And then like the second half when they met Juan, like it picked up tremendously for me. But like like the first half I didn't care for. What else was there? Book 4 was hit or miss with me, huh? I know, but like it was it was all right. Like when I go back to book 4 after like because I rewatched it several times. Like funny enough, I rewatch it with a lot of bi friends, and I always ask like, so did you see that happening or no? And what is so funny is it's 50-50. Like my bi friends are like oh, it's just whatever. I didn't see it, and like oh I saw it, and then like they'll get into a discussion with each other, and it's fun to watch. But no. What else? Hunter x Hunter had like this entire arc I did not give a fuck about, and then there was some arcs that just dragged on forever and ever. Like I was just like there's certain arcs, like for me it is sort of annoying when there's a show I love and it's like man, I really did not like those chunk of episodes. Like a freaking hell, Adventure Time did this too, where Adventure Time had like a good chunk of episodes where I was just like, I really don't care for this. I really, really don't. And so like that damages the overall quality of the series to me. Because like if a series, to me a top tier series can like make you go, all right, 98% of it I can rewatch all the way through most any day and not have an issue with it. And it's just like, yeah, I love this show. Like if you have a few like, you know, stinkers, that's fine because every show's going to have that.
Yeah.
But like some shows are just like, if you have like entire just segments or chunks where I'm just like, I'm not enjoying this at all. This is annoying me. It's just like that like affects the overall quality of the series to me. And it's just like, I can't bother it. But yeah, that's my opinion on it.
Well, yeah. I definitely think that there are a lot of shows that have good stuff. And like I had said earlier, the Round Table did like a really good job at going in on a lot of like which arcs are great and which aren't. And shows like Steven Universe or like Star Wars Forces of Evil. And speaking of the Round Table,
Tsunami Tom.
Yeah, our friend Tom from the Roundtable submitted a question.
Our boy Tom.
Our boy Tom. And we would like to answer it.
Yes.
So we're going to go in, fam. So his question is, what are some tips on having an active social life in your 20s if you don't drink? And for some
what you do is you get ginger ale and you pour it in a glass. This is what Bruce Wayne Batman does in the comic books. Like whenever he's at a party and he feels like, oh, I have to drink, he gets a glass of ginger ale and he pretends he's drinking champagne.
No, you shouldn't have to pretend you're someone else if you don't
no,
want to.
Batman.
Unless you're Batman.
That makes
you should be around people that accept you for who you are, and
they do because he's Batman.
No, but if he doesn't want to drink and he feels like he has to pretend to do what they're doing in order to fit in, that is not a good message.
Are you saying the Batman is wrong?
Yes, I am, Jordan.
Wow.
Batman can
Martha,
go suck a
Martha.
But yeah, for some background for everybody, I actually don't drink, and
she drinks
and I'm
tons
in
of soda
20s.
though.
I drink a lot of soda.
Up her teeth
I don't.
And her organs
I do.
And all that other stuff.
But
so
alcohol is not in my diet, and it never has been. And I think Jordan doesn't drink a lot. Like I think.
No, I'm a lightweight. If I do drink, it's like so pathetically light. Like literally, you could give me like one rum and coke, which is so light, and I'll just be like, "Yo, dude, can you believe the freaking Naruto's fucking things on his face?"
But yeah, I think this
weird.
question kind of boils down to like drinking is a very big part of like of society, of mainstream society and culture, and like especially with young people when they get to like a drinking age, it's like very common for there to be parties kind of centered around like smoking or doing the drugs or drinking. And like I always preferred going to parties where it was probably happening, but if we were doing like an activity like, you know, board games or like karaoke or whatever, and everybody's, you know, drinking, but they're also focusing on this activity, that's what I enjoyed. Versus I didn't really like going to the parties, and everybody's different. Some people enjoyed this type of environment, but the type of parties where it was just you sit around and get drunk and like.
Oh yeah, those parties are lame.
They were so lame and not fun for me. And I think in your early 20s that can be some of the. It was like that in high school for me. Those were the only environments that I could find, and so I just wanted to hang out with people, so we would do it. But as I'm in my 20s now, and I hang out with people that maybe are a few years older than me, but they still drink and stuff. But we like to hang out doing activities and things that don't revolve around drinking, but can involve them. Like I would never tell somebody don't drink around me or don't do that, because you know you're a fucking adult. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but you should never pressure somebody to do something that they don't want to do. Or if they say no, just be like, oh okay, cool. But it's always cool and okay to like offer. Like you can be like, hey, do you want some beverage, or do you want some acid or whatever? And if you're just like
nah.
oh no, that's not for me, and then if they're like, well why, then they're the asshole. But if they're like, oh okay cool,
no problem,
and then they just do their own thing, that's fine. So it's as long as you're establishing like boundaries and what's good for you. It can suck because there might be situations where there are people that they want to have those types of parties, and maybe those aren't for you. And I can understand that FOMO of like, oh, I want to be a part of this thing, and if I don't go to this party, I won't get to go to other parties. And those situations can feel very real and scary. But
you
if
pour
people,
it in a plant.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, but you don't have to pretend to drink. You don't have to pretend that you're something you're not. If you don't want
just
to.
hold a red cup.
Yeah, just drink whatever you want to. And if somebody asks, it's not like a big deal. You can just be like, because one thing in society that's interesting is people that, like, I've been sober for 20 years, people are like, oh, wow, congrats. But if you just say, oh, yeah, I don't drink, they're like, what? Why? Like, I mean,
you know, honestly,
a lot of people don't care, but,
yeah,
you know.
It's one of those things, Tom. Like, here's the honest answer. Like, if you're at a party, right, and someone's like, yo, man, you want a drink? Just like, no, thanks, man, I'm good. And it's just like, why? You just don't want to? It's just, yeah, I personally just don't like it. Because it's just like, you know, you just say, like, I just personally don't like it. Like, me personally, I don't like the taste of alcohol. Like, for me, I always have to have, like, a quote-unquote girly drink because they taste good. Because, like, I don't like the thing that's just like, oh, I don't want to drink a bunch of, like, stuff that tastes like piss and then get sick and throw up everywhere. It's just stupid to me. Like, that whole mindset of just like, you're gonna get tore up, bro. Come on, bro. Let's go. Let's chug some shit. And it's just like, let's drink this nasty drink that's gonna make me sick. It's just like, no, man, I'm just cool. I'm
a big part of his question, though, is he wants to know how to have an active social life in your 20s if you don't drink. Because, like, a lot of these social gatherings are probably centered around alcohol. And so maybe he's trying to find ways to like be social without having to do that. And so I guess I said some examples earlier of like, you know, I like to try to get friends together to do activities that don't revolve around drinking, but can have drinking there. Like you can still play like drinking games with your friends, just you drink like a Sprite or something, and that's okay. Like if they're assholes about it, then they're assholes. Like you don't have to deal with that. But and like just being honest with them about that. And you don't have to like completely not just go to parties where people are doing it, because like if you like these people, they're going to be different than you, and that's okay. And maybe hosting parties or asking like, hey, if you're getting a bunch of the people together, can we like maybe have a game that we play together, like a show that we're coming together to watch? Or maybe there's like I don't know, some other reason to celebrate something. And I've been to a lot of parties where there's a lot of people just sitting around talking and drinking, but they're not getting like plastered hammer drunk. They're just like talking about life. And you can definitely have gatherings where maybe you're not playing like a super hardcore game, but you just show up and just talk to these people that you love, and maybe they'll have a beer. Like, so yeah, just like saying yes to opportunities, but also maybe trying to create situations where there's other stuff to do at the parties besides drinking, because playing board games with drunk people can be pretty fun too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's always funny to see like how they react, and then like there was this one guy who like got so so blasted, and he was like walking up to people like, "Yo, man, what are you doing, dude?" And he's just like, "Yo," because there's this one guy I was talking to. His name was Gary, and I'll never forget this. I was like 18, and he was like in his 30s or something like that, and he was just like, "Yo, man, what you need to do is you're gonna go far, all right? Because you're a good-looking kid, Jordan. You're gonna go far. You're gonna find a nice woman. You're muscular. You're gonna be great. You're awesome, dude. I want you to know that." And it's just like, yeah. And it's just like, also you're black, so you got an extra muscle in your leg. And I was just like, "Thank you, sir." And he was just like, "I'm not black. I'm Gary." And I was just like, "All right." And then like he got so bad that the guy had to choke him out to put him to sleep because he was throwing up everywhere. It was so funny. God. Oh God, it was amazing. But
then there's another lesson for you. If you're the sober person at the party, you will have plenty to do if you want to help take care of people. You won't be bored. People will be like, "Hey man, Tom was so cool. He was the only one that was actually on like his wit. Like he wasn't like crazy drunk like we were. So he helped us out there, like making sure people were safe and doing whatever." So that
you're the hero of the story,
Tom.
Yeah,
you're the hero, Tom. Like you can be like the designated driver. I've definitely been a designated driver before. And like the person that like helps the drunk guy open the jar of pickles for some reason.
Why pickles?
Like I don't know, because
why would you give him pickles if he's drunk?
Open. Let him have a pickle.
No,
Jordan.
You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna throw him up after you.
Oh, you're not wrong. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, why are you giving him food?
Well,
that's
but
doesn't
food help with? Like,
I mean, yeah, bread because it soaks up the stuff. But like, I don't know, like
true.
I think like really salty doesn't that like make him like sicker? I forget. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not
dude, there was
sure.
this one time. I was like, here's a drunk story for y'all people. I was at my college. It was like in 2010, and I was like so adamant about not drinking, and I did. And I was like, okay, whatever, I'll try it. And then I like had a bit too much, and I went to the bathroom, and I fell asleep because I thought I was gonna take a poop, but I didn't, and I fell asleep.
Yeah.
And then my friend came in. He was like, "Debo," because my nickname's Debo from my high school friends. Was like, "Dude, we need to go." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And the room, like when I opened my eyes, it was just spinning. And I was just like,
yeah.
"Debo, we need to go." And I just went. And it was just the thing started seeping out from under the stalls, and he's like, "Oh my God, no!" And it was like this 10-foot puke puddle. There's this guy in the stall next to me, and he's just like, "Dude, what the fuck?" Because he was going. And he had
oh my God!
And it got all over his shoes, and apparently I passed out, and my friend had to like zip my pants up and drag me back upstairs. So you don't want experiences like that. There you go. Like it was a horrible experience. I mean, it was funny looking back at it. But I feel bad for that guy in the stall because he was "Oh my God!"
So don't get that drunk ever, and encourage your friends to not get that drunk. But if they do, just be there and support them, and don't let them puke on your games if you play games.
Oh God! Yeah, this dude had to clean his shoes off because the stuff started seeping out. It was like a blob coming out of the stall, and he was like, "I can't go anywhere."
Yeah, and one thing you can do, it doesn't have to be big parties where you meet with people. Like, you could have, like, a small get-together on a weekend where it's like, hey, who wants to come over and play Smash? Like, and you can just play Smash for a few hours and talk, and maybe they'll have, like, some beers or something. But generally, I think the big party scenes are where, like, people are getting, like, hammered versus, like, a little small get-together. People will probably be more chill and just, like... And it's okay to have both types of parties. Like, I've been to the parties where we have 30-plus people in a house, and there's people throwing up in the backyard. And I've been to the parties where it's like 5 of us, and we're just playing Smash, and maybe open up some chips, and somebody will have some wine. And
what's
just,
the
like,
worst
chill.
drunk experience? Well, not worst, but like the funniest one where like the guy was like talking to you.
Okay,
and you were like,
so there's a guy that we would have a lot of parties down here in South, and there's this one guy every time without fail. He will get drunk and pass out somewhere randomly. And one time, he passed out underneath a car. It was not moving.
How?
I don't know. We just were like, hey, where did he go? Like, oh, he did the thing. We got to go find him. And we went and searched, and he was underneath someone's parked car asleep.
What time was this?
It was like 1 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Like,
just like that.
he was just every time, and he's just known for it. So we're careful with alcohol with him.
So how'd you notice where he was? Did you see his legs outside the car?
Well, we were all hunting with flashlights.
Oh, really? So what was
it was just
like?
the thing that he did.
Hey, he's here. He's here. Like, oh.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the one that spotted him. I think somebody else was like, there he is, and then we were like, oh.
Did they
okay.
drag him out?
I think I
Or
went
did they
inside
wake him
because I
up?
was like, okay, I'm done here. I was curious, but I wasn't willing to put in work.
Did you ever have one of those times when like the drunk guy was hiding in the tree because like?
No, this guy could not climb into a tree. He was a very large man.
Mm-hmm.
He would not be able to get into a tree. We had very flimsy trees,
God.
but that car, I think it might have been a truck actually. He got under there and. It was a mystery.
How did he leave the house?
I don't know.
What,
Sometimes he would
like,
just be like in the yard. Sometimes he would be like on the floor, like under a table.
So wait. So you most of your friends' parties usually don't have alcohol though, right? So what, does he come drunk himself?
They totally have alcohol.
Wait, so like at your friend's house they had alcohol when I was visiting?
Probably, yeah. They're grown-ass adults.
I mean, I didn't know. Like, I thought you said none of y'all drink.
No, I don't drink. And Zach doesn't drink.
Mm-hmm.
All of my friends are grown-ass adults and they drink. Well, Matt doesn't drink either. There are a few of us that don't drink, but dude, our friend Tyson gets blazered. Mm-hmm. I think that's a word for drinks. That might be weed. He probably does that too.
Yeah.
But no. My friends definitely drink. Like I've every party we've had at like one of our friends' house, they definitely had alcohol there. Like. Mm-hmm. Because they're grown-ass adults and they're going to do whatever the fuck they want.
Right.
And I would never tell them to not do something just because it's like something I don't do.
Okay,
yeah.
well, that's good. That's good to know that.
Yeah.
Well, here's the takeaway, Tom. Stay sober. You have a bunch of great stories watching the drunk people. There you go.
Yeah, that's true. So I hope we gave you some ideas of how to do that. And you'll have lots of friends and stuff that do different things, and that's cool. And there's lots of situations. Not every weekend has to be a perfect party or a perfect whatever. Like sometimes they're gonna have parties where they just want to get hammered, and if you want to go and be there for them, and maybe bring like some parcheesi, I don't know, bring a fruit tray.
Bring cheese.
Bring some cheese. Yeah,
okay.
That'd be awesome. Just do it, and hopefully that'll work out for you. But yeah, I think that's a good place to end today's episode. I think we got through that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Jordan, where can they find you?
They can find me in their hearts whenever they close their eyes.
Aww,
Or you
so
can just
fucking
go on...
sappy.
Yeah, fuck off. Alright, so it's you can find me on YouTube, Jaxblade. You can find me on Twitter, Jaxblade Fitness. You can find me on Facebook, George Jaxblade Dance. You can find me on Instagram, Jaxblade. No, actually, don't go to my DeviantArt unless you're over 18. And there you can find me, Jaxblade. We're gonna find you, KaniDay Official.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at KaniDay Official. You can also find me on YouTube at KaniDay. You can find me on Facebook at KaniDay Cosplay. You can find me on Kruby Productions page where I do some voice acting. You can find me on Dr. Crafty's page where I do some voice acting. And you can find me in Jordan at MomoCon this May with a Weird Flex But Okay podcast live show. And he's also doing a bunch of other cool stuff because he will be guesting there.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Which will be really cool. And,
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, and you're also going to Kamehameha. Kamehacon.
Yes, I'm going to be at Kamehacon April 11th to the Sunday of that week. I just know that that's April 11th. And
where is that con?
It's in Texas, Irving, Texas. And if you see me, say hi. You know, don't just I'll be cordial to you if you be cordial to me. Simple stuff like that.
Yeah.
And,
isn't there like a big guest list there?
Yeah, there is. I'm on the guest list. I'm running a panel on Sunday of how to train like Goku. So that'll be fun. Please, if you come to my panel, I just need at least 10 of you to come to my panel and just laugh at my jokes when I say them, because I don't want to just like be in front of people and they're like, I don't know what his type of humor or stuff like that. Like, yeah, so I can't believe we gotta go through with this.
If I was
just
there,
like, yeah,
I
need
would
at least
wear
10...
like a bunch of fitness stuff and I would hide in the back and I would just laugh.
Thanks, Katy. Yeah, just whatever. Oh god, but yes, that's the only thing I'm anxious because it's only me on that panel, and like while my friends are coming to it, I'm just like, oh god, this is gonna be nerve-wracking, just me running a panel by myself. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna try and do my best. Hopefully it goes well, and
yeah, go support him. So yeah, that's where you can find us, and that's the stuff. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. You can send us an email at weirdflexbutokaypodcast@gmail.com.
Follow us on Twitter at WeirdFlexPod.
Yes, you can follow us on Twitter at WeirdFlexPod. You can also, if you have a business or whatever that you would like to be a sponsor for an episode and stuff, we've been looking into that. So we are definitely open to anyone messaging us or recommending, like, who would you want us to sponsor us? I don't know. We're putting energy out into the universe. Let's do it. Let's find it.
Come on, Jaxblade. It's like we should work together.
And maybe you could be a sponsor.
Yeah.
So you guys have a good day and night and evening and weekend and wonderful journey through the universe. And we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later days.
Later days of Momentai?
Yes, right? Momentai. There you go. You said it right. Booyah.
Woo! All right. That should do it. So whenever you're ready, make us begin.
Okay. Oh, hey, welcome to the Weird Flex.
Oh wait, hold on. Can you start that one over?
I was doing a joke, like where I was sleeping and then like it wake up.
Oh.
So